Hello and welcome to the Cueless Snooker Podcast. In this episode we talk about some haircuts, we talk about Ronnie O'Sullivan being okay again, and we talk about Luca Brecel's Badboy energy and much, much more, including some fun walk-ons. You'll see what I mean in a second. But before that, please like, please subscribe, and leave us a comment. Do whatever you want. And if you have any questions or would like to get in touch at all, send them to cuelesspod@gmail.com. I'll put it on the screen. But I hope you enjoy the episode. See you soon. And now, it's time. He's come all the way from the beautiful city of York. His mother doesn't like him. His father's in constant disgust. His dad actually messaged me the other day to say he prefers his other son. He was once told he looked like Claire Balding at Shag the Librarian Dwarf. He's small. He's sarcastic. He thinks he has some natural talent. With a high break of 9, it's Ben, the Jamboree Jones. You alright, Ben?
And now, it's time for a true triple threat. A very talented musician, an excellent podcaster, and an absolute prick. Take off your beanies, put down your flat whites, prepare to raise the roof for the hipster king.
Yeah.
Give him an opening, he'll smash into the pack and let those boys breathe. He's the Frodsham Firebrand, the king of Cornwall. It's Isaac, the Wrecking Ball Ratcliffe.
I love that nickname. I love
It's
the
excellent,
Jamboree
isn't it?
Jones and the Wrecking
I
Ball
like that
Ratcliffe.
because I'm just here for the vibes.
Jamboree Jones.
Do you like my Do you like my microphone?
Yeah, do you like mine? It is the Under 13 Coaches Award from Kingsley Cricket Club.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, the players didn't like me, but the coaches did.
I tried to play cricket when I was a kid during a football off season, and I turned up for the first match not knowing the rules to cricket. But luckily it was rained off because cricketers are all wusses. They don't play in the rain.
Wusses. Speaking
They
of,
don't play in the rain.
no, they don't play in the rain. They don't even play
that
if it's
about?
like a bit gloomy. If the light's not
Yeah.
good, they'll go off. Don't like it. Oh, the light's
No,
not
they
great.
don't like it, do they?
I'm not playing in this. No, there's a lot of uproar when the people go off for the bad light. Speaking of other sports that aren't snooker, you were at
Yes.
Anfield on Sunday.
I got the programme here to prove it.
Lovely.
There we go. Liverpool becoming 20-time English League champions.
That's pretty good. It's the best. That's the best, right? It's equal best.
It's equal best with Man United.
I feel
I've never, ever, and I don't think will ever, again, experience an atmosphere and a feeling like I experienced on Sunday.
I feel it only right at this point in the pod for any YouTube listeners to just sort of, just to sort of represent where I stand on all of this. That's what I want to hold up. One of my favourite stories I heard all week in any form of the news was that an Everton fan had been selling blue flares to Liverpool fans. Obviously, they thought they were red flares. So when they'd won the game, what was the score in the end? 4-0? 4-1?
5-1.
5-1. So when they'd won the game at the end, they've obviously gone off to set these red flares. We've won the league. And loads of blue flares were going off around Anfield. I absolutely love that.
It's excellent shithousery, and you've really got
good
to tip your cap
shithousery.
to it.
Any Liverpool fan must
yeah.
nod their head at the Evertonians there.
I think you've got to, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like
Made me smile.
It's like I mean, the person who sold those must just be thinking, in the most minor way possible, I win.
Yeah, yeah, we're 16th, I think, but we still feel like we've won. No,
I had an absolutely incredible day. I mean, it was just 60,000 people just experiencing the same sense of just pure, unbridled joy.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was brilliant.
Yeah, good for you, man. Good for you. I'm not bitter at all, but good for you.
Yeah, and
Wrexham have gone up.
great too.
Anyway, we are not a football
yeah.
podcast, and I'm sorry we've talked about football for this long. If you have any interest in the Merseyside derby, you're welcome. If not, I am sorry. Meanwhile, snooker. The snooker's been fucking awesome. It has been good. Where did we
I just
leave
spilled some
it?
water, sorry.
I would like to just go through our predictions from last week because I think they're worth reading out. If you didn't hear last week's pod, our predictions for the quarter-final were Zhao Jingtong versus Mark Allen. Got it wrong. Ronnie O'Sullivan versus Mark Selby. Got it wrong.
So I am listening to you. I spilt some water and I was just using a PG Tips monkey to mop it up.
John Higgins versus Hossein Vafai. Got it wrong. Ding versus Trump. Got it wrong. So we were pretty spot on with the quarterfinals. We got every single one wrong. Yeah, in some degree, we at least got one of them wrong. We got one right in each, so we technically got half of each wrong. So obviously it is Zhao Jingtong versus Chris Wakelin. Chris Wakelin beat Mark Allen quite convincingly.
Yeah, wasn't expecting that.
No, I wasn't. And also, credit to Chris Wakelin, he did look very good. He's currently 6-2 down to Zhao Jingtong. Zhao Jingtong just looks great, is more the takeaway from everything.
Yeah,
he does.
He looks pretty good.
I'm not sure what the sort of... I don't know what happens to him. Obviously, Zhao Jingtong is technically an amateur. So what happens? Say he goes on to win the World Champs. Does he then have to qualify again? Because I can't imagine he'd be in the... His prize money wouldn't count, I don't think. I'm sure it wouldn't.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure. Cause
obviously, he'd get the 500 grand, but it wouldn't go on to his ranking, so I think he'd still have to work his way up.
I think he does have a card for the tour next year, though.
Yeah, no, he does, but that's what I'm saying. It wouldn't actually go on his ranking right now. We could be in a situation where at least a semi-finalist to the World Championship is having to probably qualify again from quite a low state. He could go on to win 3 tournaments next season, and that might be bollocks.
Yeah.
So he looks good.
Happens.
He beat Li Paifan. He looks mint. He does.
He did. Yeah.
He beat Li Paifan again quite easily. Li Paifan, was 13-10, I think. 13-10.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of 13-10s. Mark Williams won 13-10 against Hossein Vafai. Zhao Jingtong won 13-10 against Li Paifan. Si Jiawei won 13-10 versus Ben Wollaston. Should we talk about Ben Wollaston versus Mark Selby for a second?
I'd rather not.
Fucking hell.
I
That's
didn't
about as bad
watch,
as snooker gets.
I didn't watch much of it. I was at work and I had several texts through from you saying how bad it was.
It was tough to watch.
And as I was sort of finishing up, I put it on my phone.
Yeah.
And it was... I was just waiting for it to be over, to be honest.
It was real tough watching. If you didn't watch that game, basically...
Credit to Ben Wollaston for winning and everything, but,
I guess.
He
didn't win in style, though, did he? It wasn't like a... It wasn't a Luca Brecel over Ding win, which was cool as anything, and he took advantage of his opponent not playing particularly well. Every frame, they were getting 4 or 5 chances each. There was a few centuries along the way. Basically, the context to that game was that Mark Selby had his tip replaced, and then didn't like it, and then I got it changed again. Just wasn't very happy with it at all.
Yeah, Steve Davis knew exactly what he was doing when he said Mark's tip's gone hard. You know what you're doing,
You know what you're doing, Steve. Steve Davis, my mum's just pointed this out because I've had the snooker on. He looks great. He looks great for his age.
He does look great.
Looks
How old is he?
I think 66, 67, I reckon. Oh. But he could pass for 50s. Easy.
I think probably the snooker player I'd most like to go for a beer with.
Steve Davis.
Yeah.
He's not mine, but mine's Luca Brecel. I've got a newfound love for this man.
That would be a fun night out, I think, actually.
So, again, go on.
Well, should we talk...
Let's carry on with the Selby. Let's carry on with the Selby thing. We have to? We predicted the final would be Selby and Trump. Not many people have been that wrong so far. Selby went out in spectacular fashion. It was awful watching. He didn't just not win his match. I mean, as sort of people that have a podcast that talk about the snooker, we can't really lie about it, and it was genuinely awful snooker at the end.
Yeah.
Really not good watching. I think what a down note to end his season on as well, which was a successful one. So I hope he comes back stronger. But I know he's sort of floated the idea of retirement if he's not enjoying it and stuff. So we need a good Mark Selby. This game needs good Mark Selby. Our semi-final prediction was Mark Allen versus Selby. So that's gone spectacularly wrong as well.
Yeah, that's gone.
But Mark Allen, I really wanted Mark Allen to do well. But he just didn't have the legs against Chris Wakelin. He did, however, make a 147.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, a fucking good one as well. It wasn't just...
It was a very good one.
Yeah, really, really good. So that's 40 grand, 40 grand. And he got about 85 into
That's something, I suppose.
That's something, I suppose, yeah. But yeah, that was Mark Selby, just bitterly disappointing. Ben Wollaston would have been pleased, I guess, but he didn't really play that well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, Luca Brecel, what a bad boy.
Yes, Luca Brecel. I think Steve Davis called it the best exhibition of snooker he's ever seen at the Crucible.
That's high praise.
It is very high praise.
It was amazing. So obviously Luca Brecel beat Ryan Day 10-7, I think, and then he's gone on to play Ding.
Yeah.
And that game, I think, so Ding started with a 1-3-1 or maybe even a 1-4-1 or something. It was a big break.
I think it was a 1-1. I want to say 1-2-1.
It ended in 1 and it started in 1.
Yeah.
And it wasn't 11. Cryptic. Carrying on my cryptic clues. He started and then 9 frames back to back Luca Brecel got.
Yeah.
It was
unbelievable. It was 1-4-1.
I said that. I did say that.
And then Luca Brecel broke 1-2-1 in the next frame. Then won 9 on the trot and ended up winning 13-4.
Yeah. Yeah, and he just looked like...
No, he won.
How many was it?
It wasn't 9 on the trot. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 on the trot.
Shit. Stop it. It starts in 1 and it ends in 1. He won 11 on the trot.
11.
Yeah, and it is 11. That's how cryptic
And it
I
is
am.
11. But I mean, just phenomenal. I mean, we see it a lot with like Judd Trump, for example. Once the frame's won, he'll pull out the naughty snooker. Yeah. But because Luca Brecel's attitude is such that he just doesn't really care about winning.
Yeah, it's not great.
He just plays kamikaze snooker.
Yeah, he does. I was watching him versus Trump before.
It's so fun to watch.
Oh, it's amazing to watch. I mean, him versus Judd Trump on paper should be amazing. But what I've quickly realised, I mean, he actually brought it back a little bit. Basically, Judd Trump's a little bit too good to be playing that kind of snooker against.
Yeah.
Ding, it worked. Clearly worked against. Ryan Day, it definitely worked against. You could see Ryan Day getting pissed off.
Yeah.
Sean Murphy said something quite funny. So he said he's not just called Ryan Dynamite Day because he like batters the balls in. It's because he's like the last player on the tour you'd want to annoy. And I've said that as most Sean Murphy as I can.
Blow you up?
Apparently he's got quite a bad temper on him. He was saying that Luca should be a bit careful, but I think Luca sort of played into it.
Yeah, but it's snooker. What's he going to do?
Ryan Dynamite Day.
He's not Zidane. He's not going to headbutt Luca Brecel.
Yeah, but Luca Brecel...
The most physical snooker's ever got was Ronnie O'Sullivan and Ali Carter sort of walking into
if they made
a
big deal out of that.
Oh, God, imagine.
They never shut up about it. They never shut up about it.
But yeah, I mean, well, speaking of Ronnie...
No, I'm not done with Brecel at all.
Oh, you're not done with Brecel at all?
I've got a big statement to make on Brecel.
Go on.
He is officially my new and improved bad boy.
I think
how was he not is my question. Now I'm thinking about it. I think with Kyron Wilson, I was searching for a bad boy that I wanted to be there, and like he had the perfect opportunity with this.
It's exactly what I was going to say, Isaac. Is that you were so you were gagging for a bad boy, and you were looking for one, and you were grasping and
No,
you
say
reached
how
out
it is. I was
and-
gagging for a bad boy. I was.
You were gagging for a bad boy. You reached out and you grasped Kyron Wilson.
Yeah, I did. I
And
wanted it so bad.
you-
I was thinking his shoes. I was thinking, like, you know, he would really suit a nose ring. I was thinking, like,
Isaac,
I
the
like.
shoes doth not a bad boy make.
You know what? We've not actually talked about it too much. He likes. I like how he liked to practice in front of the fans in like the. He likes that. He gets a kick out of that. That's bad boy behaviour. Do you know what's even more bad boy behaviour? Turning up on a private jet to your game 20 minutes before it starts. 20 minutes.
I don't agree with it from an environmental perspective, but you know, it's not quite
Keyless
Taylor Swift
podcast
levels,
does not like condone flying in and out to Sheffield. Is there an airport in Sheffield?
I imagine there's an airfield. I don't think there's an airport.
Okay.
Doncaster's maybe the nearest, or Leeds Bradford.
Let's get into it.
Anyway, but you were
doth a bad boy make.
You were gagging for a bad boy.
I was.
And you reached out and you grabbed Kyron Wilson. And I said it at the time, but he's not a bad boy. He's a classic family man.
He did. That was your exact words.
He's
a classic family man. I actually don't think he's either. You paint him as a classic family man, and a story came out about him recently that they had problems because he was on the booze too much after the World Championships. So,
well, you know.
You would, wouldn't you? You would. You just won 500 grand. You're the best in the world, ish. On that day.
But yeah, no, Luca Brecel, bad boy.
Bad boy, like to the like extreme. So like, first off, all bad boys need good walk-on music, and he has it. It's like hip hop or something, but it's just cool.
Yeah.
Like it looks cool. Obviously, also, he's the bearded snooker player. I noticed this. We talked about this in previous podcasts. Not many snooker players have beards, or at least more than stubble. And Luca Brecel is that person. He doesn't give a shit. I don't care if it's catching on my stubble. Doesn't matter. Move on. And also, it's that. So there's two things. The plane thing where he landed 20 minutes before his match starts. That says a few things. That says, one, I don't give a shit about like the environment, and like as much as I don't condone it, you can't argue it's bad boy behaviour. Two, it's like it says something about what he thinks of the game that he's about to play. 20 minutes, you'd think, like, he's clearly not had any practice in. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've landed 20 minutes
well,
ago.
he doesn't really
He literally
practice.
doesn't.
It's before the
That's
last
bad
World
boy behaviour.
Championships. I
Don't
think
need
he
to.
practiced for... I think he'd been in the pub, practiced for, like, quarter of an hour, and then went on and won the World Championship. It was
insane.
It's insane. But I'm in two minds where part of me thinks he's going to be someone who wins multiple world titles because he is that talented a snooker player.
Yeah.
And he's won it before without practicing. There's nothing saying he can't win it again without practicing.
That's true. Also,
But
he didn't just win it. Like, he didn't have an easy run. Didn't get lucky. He beat Mark Selby. He beat
Selby. He beat Ronnie as well.
Yeah, I know. Like, it's
beat
not
CJ.
just...
Came back from. He overturned quite a big deficit.
One of the biggest comebacks in
well.
like the Crucible's history. Yeah, he was like 13-4 down or something. It was something like that. I don't know what it was.
But with the standard of snooker players now, like you look at Judd Trump and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think if he consistently comes up against the likes of Judd Trump, I don't think he's got the...
I personally think that this match
that
is going on at the moment, the Trump versus Brecel, it's the biggest match yet. Just so based off watching everyone, I think that the four standout players in my eyes are Ronnie, amazingly somehow, Zhao Jintong.
I'm gonna sort of dispute that in a second, but
I agree with you.
We'll move on to it in a
The
second.
two best players have been Trump and Brecel.
Yeah,
I think so. This is a big game. Like, also Trump's been quite unlucky with his draw. I think he had Murphy in the last round.
Yeah,
and now he's got Brecel. Like, that's a tough run of people.
Yeah.
But he's the best in the world. So like, if he can win those games, you'd think he'd probably win the whole thing.
Yeah,
and looking at the first few frames between Trump and Brecel today, it felt like Brecel sort of went. He was smashing them up. He was going for stuff, and it paid off on the first. It went 1-1, and it paid off, and he smashed the balls everywhere. And then he smashed the balls everywhere, and Trump just cleared up, and then he cleared up again. Yeah. And then he cleared up again, and it's like, well, actually, you're not playing ding now. You can't.
But then he went into the interval. Was it 5-3?
Yeah, he's brought it back. So I didn't see that last 2 frames. To be fair, I was watching the Ronnie game then. But
I saw the last. I turned over for the Luca was just sort of clearing up, and yeah.
But like, obviously, maybe he sort of realised that actually this is a different beast. Like Judd Trump, if I'm Luca, I'm thinking if I can win this game. I know he doesn't think like this, but if he can win that game, he must think like that a bit. He cares to a degree. If he can win that game, he's gone a long way to winning the whole thing. Like, that's his biggest game, I think.
I'll talk briefly about this now. Obviously, you mentioned Ronnie's been one of the standout players. I think he's surpassed most people's expectations.
Yes, he definitely has, yeah.
I don't think he's enjoyed it too much himself. He said it's the worst he's ever felt after the win against... who did he play in the last round?
Pang
Zhengzhou said it's the worst he's felt ever, I think.
Yeah.
Which is amazing, considering he trounced Pang. But
Pang looked in awe. That was Pang's problem, I think.
That's what I'm going to come on to. I can't see... I don't think he'll win the World Championships.
No. So it looks like he's probably going to play Zhao Jintong. Probably.
I think he's
in the semis.
Yeah, he's going to go through against
Si Jiawei.
Yeah. And he's going to get beaten by Zhao Jintong. But the problem is that he keeps being let in.
He has
People keep giving him
unbelievably
chances.
Fortunate with his draw. So I was saying this to my dad before. He had Ali Carter, who he's got a bit of history with, which I think helped him. You got him up for the match a little bit. You know, there's been a little bit there before in the past that they've not liked each other. And 2, Ali Carter just didn't play well, like at all. He let him in. Yeah. He had maybe 2 or 3 chances a frame. And
I think that's sort of the point
has
I'm
carried
trying to make
on. So Pang,
is that
Christ almighty, Pang didn't look good.
Yeah. The second he's come across, or the second that he comes across a player who's playing well and ignores the fact that they're playing Ronnie O'Sullivan, Zhao Jintong.
I actually don't think it matters whoever wins that game. Zhao Jintong or Chris Wakeley. Yeah. Even though it's looking like... I don't think Chris Wakeley will give a shit who he's playing.
Probably not, but the thing is it was... Ali Carter didn't play... I don't think he was bothered that he was playing Ronnie in terms of he wasn't in awe because he was playing him at the time.
Pang
he was just playing rubbish.
Like he was
Pang looked in awe.
Yeah, he did.
And Si Jiawei has sort of looked the same. Yeah. He's not...
He's been very nervous.
He's missed some really, really, really easy chances.
He missed a black off the spot, and Ronnie cleared up from it, and it was like he wasn't even close. Like he was, and that says something.
But yeah, if he'd have come, but the point is that Ronnie's making, or he's allowing.
Can I caveat this? Can I caveat your caveat?
But he's not. I mean, he's getting back to the table because his opponents aren't playing well. Yeah. And I think that's just that. It's not going to happen against Zhao Jintong.
His, I know, I agree with you that Ronnie's been very lucky, but also his long pot success was 92% in that final game. He's finding He's finding
which is pretty astonishing when you. Yeah, if you watched,
he played a shot.
First round match
and he cleared the table. He made a 1-2-1 clearance. Sijao, it was the last frame, so it was to take him to 6-2. Sijao has literally just broken off, and he's left quite a difficult long red. And Ronnie O'Sullivan has just gone for it, but the actual style of pot was to play safe, like to play safety with it. He's had to put a lot of sort of run inside on it, and actually, that's the exact shot that he was struggling with, that sort of over distance put inside on things, and like that's where he was, and as soon as that went in, cleared the table. And I think if I think that confidence is just coming back a little bit. And I don't know, like, it's Ronnie O'Sullivan at the end of the day. Like,
don't get me wrong, I want to see him in the final.
Yeah, it would be amazing.
I really want that.
It wouldn't,
but I'm not sure if it'll.
There's two players we haven't talked about so far. We've mentioned every single semi-final, bar Mark Williams and John Higgins. Thoughts?
Yeah.
The stalwarts
this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a classic, isn't it?
Yeah, they've played each other so many. I think it's 13 times.
Yeah.
I mean, Mark's won the last 3 times they've played each other.
I think John Higgins is going to win this one.
I'd like to see Mark Williams go further, but I also think I don't know. I think if I'm looking forward, who's more likely to be able to actually put up with Judd Trump or Luca Brecel? Either doesn't really matter. I think it is John Higgins. Mark Williams has the, he's an anomaly of a snooker player.
He is, yeah.
Like he doesn't really make any sense. He doesn't particularly make big breaks. He doesn't particularly, like, you don't notice him that much, but also, like, he's in the last 8.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like, all of a sudden, he got under Hossein Bafai's skin, you could tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just pissed him off after a while, I think. Like, he just was, he's granite. He's actually the definition of granite. Like, he's so consistent. But, like, consistent, like, he will always make 50 to 70.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of the time good enough to win the frame in the first few rounds. But now we're getting to the stage where if you aren't like clinching it in one break, then you're in danger. You're in danger of losing the frame when you actually played quite well. Sijawi has seen that quite a bit. Luca Brecel's seen that with Judd Trump.
Yeah.
So,
since we got all our predictions wrong last week, should
we make a new?
Let's go through. So Zhao Jingtong against Chris Wakelin.
What's the current score? 6-2?
6-2.
I think it's got to be Zhao, yeah.
I think we both agree it's Zhao Jingtong.
I like the story of Chris Wakelin a lot. I mean, they talk about him being the sort of most improved snooker player on the circuit.
I'd like to see him.
He
I'd like
needs
to
a
see
new
him win,
suit.
but I don't think
anyone watched him walk on.
He does need a new suit. Yeah. I don't like the grey.
I don't like the grey. Also,
suit.
like, Chris, you're gonna get a big old whopper of a paycheck from this. Get yourself a new suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we need like a we need like a cueless.
Should we try and get a sponsor on a snooker player?
Yeah, we should try to do that. But we need a correspondent who knows stuff about fashion to rate snooker players.
I've actually got
suits.
You've just asked me. My mum, literally, is like the person we're looking for. She like I'm not even kidding. She has way more followers than us, and she does like rate my outfit of the day and stuff. She is like a fashion guru.
Yeah,
she does catwalks for like charity shops and stuff. Should we give my mum some pictures of snooker players' outfits? Yeah. All right, we'll sort that. We'll sort that.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's the. Actually, when I was coming home and I said I was doing the pod, she was like, "Can I be on it?" And I was like, "What do you know about snooker?" And she was like, "I don't like their shoes." And I was like, "Right, okay."
We should definitely, your mum can definitely be our cueless fashion.
Well, actually, this is why I brought the Chris Wakelin thing up. As soon as he walked out, she went, "Oh, what's he wearing?"
Yeah.
He was like, "He needs a new suit. His shirt doesn't fit."
Yeah,
also, what the hell are these little, like, weird flat...
That's not what I was expecting you to say, but no, I agree.
What were you expecting me to say?
I don't really understand what that is.
The flat bow ties. Just wear a fucking bow tie. Also, I saw a video of... Who was it? Oh, it was like Ken Doherty or... It was someone in the 90s. Maybe it was John Parrott. It was John Parrott lifting the trophy. God, he looks smart. In a big, like, puffy white shirt, a big bow tie, and like a really nice waistcoat. They look shit now.
I thought you were going to say, what's with Chris Wakelin's facial hair?
It's a goatee-ish, and I really do mean ish. He's very ginger, I think, at heart.
Yeah, I can't really grow facial hair. And if I could and it was like Chris Wakelin's, I wouldn't.
I'll clip that bit up and send it to him.
You've been guilty of stitching me up on this podcast in the past with the guess my age thing. I've stitched myself a bit there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Chris Wakelin, but yeah, you know, look after yourself.
You get yourself some Nivea Men.
This is where we need a sponsorship from Harry's Razors.
Yeah, Harry's Razors. Sponsors, get in touch. Get in touch.
Yeah. Zhao Jingtong against.
Yeah,
Ronnie
I think Zhao
O'Sullivan.
Jintong, it'll be against Ronnie. Yeah, Si Zhao doesn't look like he's got the game to.
Yeah, no. John Higgins, Mark Williams.
I honestly can. Again, I think I struggle to differentiate between hope and think.
Mm.
I think Mark Williams could come back.
To differentiate between hope and think.
You know what I mean, though. I hope Mark Williams can come back. He's only 5'3", isn't he?
I think John Higgins will win it though.
Is he 4'1"? Is he 6'2" that or 5'3"?
It's 5'3".
Oh yeah, you can bring that back.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters. I don't think either of them are going to beat either of Judd Trump or Brecel.
No, I'm going to say John Higgins will win it. I think he's looked really solid.
I can't believe I'm about to say this. I think it'll be a Judd Trump Zhao Jintong final.
I think the same. Yeah.
I've only just realised. I've not really watched that much of Zhao Jintong. None of the game. There's always been a game on at the same time that I've been slightly more interested in. But I've seen highlights of his games, and he just is. Compared to all the other Chinese players, he's on a totally other level. He's on a sort of Ronnie O'Sullivan, Luca Brecel level. I'm not sure he's on.
I think Si Zhao the closest to him.
Yeah, Si Zhao looks good, and he's quite fluent when he wants to be, but at the same time, it's like there's always a miss coming. I feel like, but with Zhao Jintong, when he's in, it just feels like he's in. That's kind of it. But yeah, that was.
I'm gonna stick with my overall prediction that Judd Trump will win it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still think you're right. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I could totally agree with you. But it's hard to say because there's been so many upsets already. I've put together a table, and I thought to sort of commemorate the 147 at the Crucible. Mm-hmm. I wondered what your knowledge was like on players and the amount of 147s they've actually hit.
Okay.
So basically, I've got the top 10 the top 10 most. I phrased that absolutely horribly. I've got the players who have hit the most 147s in their career here. And I wondered if you could maybe name them.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So give me some. Obviously, there's some easy ones.
Ronnie's number 1.
Yeah, 15.
15.
Tick. Big fat tick you get there.
Big fat tick. Stephen Hendry's up there, probably.
Yeah, he's third with 11.
Third with 11. The first televised 147, was that Cliff Thorburn?
It was. He's not on there.
He's not on there.
Yeah. They're all, and I do mean
I think they're all relatively or more recent.
Yeah, I'd say Hendry's probably the oldest one on there. He was kind of the first guy that really started going for... He's hit 3 at the Crucible, Stephen Hendry.
Mark Selby's made a couple. Mark Selby's made one at the Crucible.
Selby's 8th with 6. You'd think he'd have more than 6, wouldn't you?
Yeah. A player with 13 147s. Yeah. Or not 13.
No, he actually is 13.
Is it 13? Oh.
Play along at home.
John Higgins doesn't strike me as someone who's made loads, but he's probably on there.
13, second.
Is it? Oh,
yeah. Right. You're doing all right so far. You've not guessed wrong.
So
I know you have. Cliff Thorburn.
No, that wasn't a guess.
Yeah, okay. Sure.
That wasn't a guess.
I believe you. Sorry.
Judd Trump.
Huge, obviously. He's made 8 and he sits at 6th. Also, speaking of Judd Trump making big breaks, he made 100 hundreds.
He did £100,000.
It's nuts, that really, isn't it?
Isaac, what would you do with £100,000?
I'd buy... I'd buy about 330... Oh my god, what's my maths? 33,000 Renos. What would you do with £100,000?
Open up a savings account, put it in there. Stick it on premium bonds. That's what I do.
Nice. I thought when you said stick it up, I didn't know where it was going.
Stick it up your arse.
With £100,000, what would I do? I'd really get my collection of novelty houses going.
Oh, that's good.
They're lovely, aren't they?
That's a lovely novelty house.
It's a novelty house. Right, keep coming with the 147 makers, please.
Yeah. Mark Williams.
Not on there.
Not on there.
Shit. So I'm pretty sure Mark Williams has made 3 in his career.
Oh, Sean Murphy.
Yes, he's number 4. He's 10th.
Yeah.
No, sorry, he's got 10. He's not 10th.
He likes one.
He loves a 147. And that's actually a better way to think about it. Can you think of anyone else who loves a 147?
Who loves a 147?
Because there's one player on there that isn't really like... He's not particularly one of the GOATs. Like, he's not like an amazing player. He's good. Uh-huh. He's very good. Obviously, to make 5th... Come on. You're missing 5th.
Mark Allen likes one.
You know what? Mark Allen's not on here, but I made this list before we actually hit one. So, there's basically the top 8 are like above 5, and then there's 5 players who are joint 5th. So you can have any of them. Not joint 5th, sorry. They're joint 9th. I don't know why I keep saying the number. But there's there's 2 players in the top 8 that you haven't got so far.
In the top 8 of the world?
Neither of them are.
No!
Just in the top 8 of the 147 makers.
Oh.
People are screaming at the screens there. Come on, man.
I don't
think. Chuck some names out. Your fave player, maybe.
I don't like you. You put me under pressure.
Yeah.
Ding Junhui.
Yep, he's 7th with 7.
He's 7th.
Should I tell you?
Neil Robertson.
Neil Robertson is in the list of 5s, so he is joint 9th. Yeah.
Okay. How many have I got so far?
You've got quite a few. You're still missing number 5.
I'm still missing number 5.
Yeah, it's a strange one, but I'd get it. But I know I'm better than you, so.
You're a prick. Kyron Wilson.
He's also joint on the 5s.
Joint on the 5s.
Which I think Mark Allen might be now as well, so you can have that too. But I don't have that to date. Also, Mark Allen became the first player to make a 147 at all the Triple Crown events. That's cool as fuck.
That's impressive.
Yeah,
good stat.
Yeah, I know. Thank you, stat dog. Woof woof. Stat blast. Pew 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 pew.
I think we get rid of stat blast and replace it with stat dog. Woof woof. Right. How many people am I missing?
Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 people you haven't named, and they all have 5 and more. I'm gonna tell you this.
Bingham.
Yeah, Bingham. It is Bingham. He's got 9, which is mad. I think that is mad.
And how many people now?
I'm telling you the last 3.
No. Yeah, go on, tell me.
They're all people you're never going to get, basically.
Is it Tom Ford, Marco Fu, Gary Wilson?
That's fantastic guess.
Just a guess. Just a guess.
I didn't even see you typing that. Yeah.
Stealth typing.
Yeah, it is.
Guerrilla typing.
Disgusting.
What do you mean disgusting?
That is disgusting.
Guerrilla. Stealth, not gorilla as in, like, Tarzan. Guerrilla as in, like, guerrilla warfare.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. You've
sorry.
disgusted me there. I might have broken a record for the quickest anyone's ever had a haircut and then started recording a podcast. Literally, it was in the chair 5 minutes before record. And what a record to break.
I'm guessing your mum cut your hair.
Yes, yeah. She's not a hairdresser.
Child, your mum cutting your hair.
I've actually never been to the barbers.
Really?
Never in my life. You know, it's actually half the reason I came home, because I was messaging my mum saying I need a haircut, and she gave me this big list of things like that. I've got very curly hair.
Yeah, you
like
do.
it's
Yeah.
not, it's not to be.
Did I tell you a couple of weeks ago I had to go to the barber's twice in 3 days?
Why did that happen?
Well, I went to my usual guy.
It grows fast.
He, yeah. And
You went to
he
your
actually
usual
put
guy.
more hair on. I was like, what's going on? No, I went to my usual guy, and he I didn't realise till I got home that he'd sort of he'd cut a mullet in, basically.
Oh no!
And I was like, I've had one before, don't really want one again, and if I do, I want it to be on my terms.
Yeah, the mullet should be on your terms, man.
I don't want an enforced mullet.
Yeah, good band name. Fantastic
It
band
is,
name.
it's a good band. I
Enforced
just keep
mullet.
coming up with an enforced mullet. And so I thought, I can't go back, because he did, when they do the thing with him? Well, no, maybe not.
Did you go to a different barber's?
I went to a different
Oh,
barber's.
you're
and I said,
so
"Look,"
awkward.
and I
That's
said, "Look,
so awkward.
Yeah. But,
You know what? Speaking of being... Yesterday I went for a meal with my family, and me and my partner were going out to see some horses. I know that sounds so fucking posh.
going out to see some
But
horses.
we just popped out of the restaurant because there was a field of horses next door, and the sun was set. It wasn't my idea. And as we left the restaurant to go and see these horses, we had every intention.
How many horses did you meet?
2.
2.
Yeah, 3. There was 3. That's
3?
such a lie.
3 horses.
Yeah, 3 horses. Yeah. No, there was 2 there, and obviously my girlfriend was there. So,
That's you called her a dog on the
I
podcast
called her a
weeks ago.
dog,
Now
yeah.
you're calling her a horse. Bloody hell.
I apologise. Sorry,
Does she
it's
listen?
Not called, no. Does she listen? She doesn't get 40
You're
minutes
all right
in.
then.
I'll tell you that for free. I'm all good. But as talking about being awkward, as we left, we both left. The guy at the door was like, "Oh, thanks for coming, guys." And obviously we weren't done. I'd still not even finished my food.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And obviously both of us in sync were like, "No worries, see ya." And then had to walk
You'd
back.
not finised your food. You'd not finished your food, and you went out to see some horses.
Maybe there was some chips left, for the table, and
Finger food,
some olives, and went out to. But I was too awkward, and both of us were to say, "Oh, I'm just popping out to see the horses." And then as I walked back in, I was like, "You're right."
Yeah.
Awkward, man. Why are we so awkward? Why are humans so awkward? I like that you went to a different barber's though.
Well, yeah, because he, after you've had a haircut, they get the mirror and they put it behind you and they say, "You're happy with
No,
that?"
I actually don't know. I've never been.
Well, I was thinking that you'd never been. They do that. Check the, show you the back.
You could tell me they dunk your head in upside down and then
And it just didn't,
say you look like an alien.
It didn't click to me that he'd cut a mullet in, so I didn't say anything. And then when I got home, I was like, my mum was like, "You got a mullet?" I was like, "No."
Yeah, but did you know deep down you were like, "No," like I do. I know.
No, I did not realise till I got home.
How do you not know? Do you not catch yourself in a window or something?
I was wearing a hat. Yeah. Since I've become a hat guy recently.
Oh, really? Inspired by myself?
Yeah. You know, I'm a free thinker.
Yeah. You don't want to admit it.
I don't want to admit it, but yeah.
What kind of hat?
Baseball cap. Fez.
A fez, yeah. Just cut around the fez, mate.
Yeah. A fez cut.
Yeah. Oh. Let's get it going.
But no, but yeah, I'm a bit sort of, over the years I've been to a few barbers and hairdressers. I had a phase a couple of years ago, where it had been 2 summers ago, where I grew my hair quite long.
Right. I remember it.
And you do, yeah. And
long-haired
at that
Ben,
point, I was like, I don't.
Hair longer than his legs.
It was when one of my colleagues started working at the pub.
Yeah.
And because she already knew a couple of people called Ben, in conversation with her partner,
luscious haired Ben.
She'd refer to me as Hobbit Ben because I had sort of curly hair.
Oh man, sorry, that's your new snooker name. The Jamboree's got it's Ben the Hobbit.
And
it should be Ben the Hobbit Jones. No one would question it.
No one would question it, I'm quite sure.
You know those nicknames where people are like, why is he called that? If you walked out and they went Ben the Hobbit Jones, everyone would look at you and go,
instantly,
oh yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
I went into, over Christmas, my friend, he lives in Sheffield, and he came over to York. We had a few pints, and we went into one of my favourite pubs in York, the Golden Ball.
Yeah, nice pub.
And they had a lovely guest ale on called Straight Out of Hobbiton. And I said,
that's shit. Well, such a shit name.
I suppose it's a New Zealand pale. That's why.
It's still shit.
So I said, well, I suppose I should have a pint of that because I've been told I look like a hobbit.
Yeah.
And the girl behind the bar just went, yeah, you look like Samwise Gamgee. Like, cheers, thanks. I'll take it as a compliment. Maybe she was flirting with me.
Maybe she was. Maybe she was. You should have walked off and gone, I'm going on an adventure.
Anyway. So during that long hair spell, I went to a lady's hairdresser's. Nice. And
this is good stuff. This is what the pod listeners want.
I sat down in the chair, and instead of when you go to the barbers, they tend to put on like a, I don't know what you call it, a vest? No.
A gown?
No, it's not a gown. It's just like a sort of a poncho.
Yeah, a headless poncho.
You know, they velcros around your neck. And it just sort of hangs down. It's more like a blanket, really.
Yeah, the hairdresser's sheath.
And when I went to this hairdresser's, they gave me like a gown.
Man,
it was like a kimono.
Yeah.
And I sat down in the chair, and then she said, "Would you like me to wash your hair?" And I was like, "No."
No.
Why?
Why would you say
I
no
want
to
you
that?
to wash my hair? Because I'd only just met her, and she's not washing my hair.
Apparently, washing your hair is one of the most intimate things that can be done to one another.
Yeah, but I don't.
That's a quote from a TV show that I can't remember.
It's
head massages.
It's Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Thank you. It's a bit of Charles Boyle.
It's Charles Boyle. He says washing your hair is the most intimate thing you can do to your partner.
And then he says apart from something else, but I can't remember what it is.
Yeah.
But there's
but yeah, no. It's a professional setting. I don't want the intimacy of someone washing my hair.
I don't understand that. Honestly, mate, take any opportunity you can to get someone else to wash your hair.
No.
That's my views on the thing. I work with a woman that this isn't funny at all. It still amused me. She went to this hairdresser and she had her haircut, and then the guy offered a head massage post haircut, and she replied, "Does anyone ever say no to that?" And I thought,
yeah, I would.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. I was like, I definitely would say no to that.
Well, that's the thing. Why would you say yes to having your hair washed then? It's a wet massage is what it is.
Oh, what a horrid description of a hair wash. It's a wet massage.
Well, that's what it is. It's someone It's someone rubbing your head, but just with water. It's a wet massage.
It's not just with water. It's with shampoo and conditioner.
Yeah, that makes it worse.
Lather me up. That's what I'd say. I'd say lather me up.
I'm not saying lather me up.
Honestly, with your soapy water, get me lathered. I'm so down for that.
No.
Apart from if it's my mum washing my hair, that's not.
Lather me up, Mum.
Yeah, lather me up, buddy. Yeah, that's so funny. But yeah, I had a haircut. Honestly, minutes before jumping on the pod. Minutes. And I'm pretty happy with it. It was quite long.
Yeah.
From podcast to pod, from week to week, it's pretty good. I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
Whew! Wow, we barely talked about snooker this pod. Actually, we know we did it.
Well, how about in a future episode we break that record by you having a haircut on the pod?
Whilst my mum just rates people's fucking outfits.
Yeah, that'd work. Yeah,
I'll just sit in the chair. That's genius. You could so do that. She'd just be snipping away.
Yeah.
Snip away. And I'd be chilling. But back to the snooks. We've made our predictions. I feel like we're jinxing people because we did make these predictions before and literally everyone that we predicted would win lost. So at that rate, we're looking at like a Mark Williams, Chris Wakeland final.
Yeah, but hey, that's snooker.
That's snooker, you know. Let the boys
I'm
breathe.
playing tomorrow.
Are you? I played
tomorrow
on Sunday against my father.
I'm playing against friend of a pod, Todd.
Nice.
Friend of a pod, Todd. Who, by the way, we mentioned him last week, and midway through the week, I got a text from Todd
this is funny.
in capital letters, just saying, "I'm famous."
Yes, he is. Also, for anyone that did listen to the last pod and just heard a song about Dominic Dale halfway through. I am really sorry.
Yeah, it was Todd who pointed that out to me.
Yeah, I do a lot of the editing on this pod, and...
Hang on. Let me just correct you there. You just said, I do a lot of the editing on this pod.
I appreciate it.
I don't want any of the blame passed on to me. I do all the editing on this pod.
Yeah.
I have nothing to do with it. I turn up once a week with my cheeky grin and my can-do attitude.
Yeah, lovely.
And that's me done.
Yeah. And thinks he owns the place. Fucker.
I swan in like it's mine.
Swanning in. Look at you swanning in.
Well, am I right in thinking I came up with the name Cueless?
No, you're not.
I'm wrong in thinking that. Because I thought I'd come up with that, and I was like, well, that's my input done, isn't it?
For me and Ben started this sort of, extravaganza as like a poetry duo, you could say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except you're the only one who can write poems.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the better poet of the two. Let's put it that way. You have your other skills. What do you fucking do?
What do I do? Yeah.
Yeah. Right. I think we should wrap it up.
I think we should. I'll just shout out Todd again because it made him so happy to be mentioned
I
before.
would like people to subscribe if they feel inclined.
Should we have Todd on one week?
Yeah, all right. Let's get Todd on. He's one of the moodiest fuckers out there, so I'm not sure he'd really add much.
We've slept together.
Have you?
Not in that sense.
No.
We shared a bed.
What? Really?
Apparently
that still shocks me.
Yeah. Apparently I spooned him in his sleep.
You'd make a good big spoon, considering how small you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this up big time. We'll get Todd on, and we'll get my mum on, and then hopefully we can aspire to, no offence, bigger things.
Bigger things.
Literally, in terms of Todd.
Yeah.
Wow, he's never coming on.
Hi, Todd.
I'd just rip the shit out of him. I really would.
Yeah.
He can give it back though, Todd. Can I give him that?
He can. Yeah. He can and he will.
Yeah, he does. But that is Cueless for this week. By the time next week, when's the final? Monday?
Yeah.
We'll know the next podcast. We will know who will us. It's not a word. Who has won the world championship?
We will, and we will discuss.
We will discuss it. Yeah, we will, amongst other things.
Amongst other things, and
subscribe.
We'll laugh and we'll cry and we'll have fun and we'll make friends.
Yeah.
And we'll learn.
Yeah,
we're laughing, we're learning, we're enjoying each other's company.
Yeah, always. With that spoon in actually yours. How could you not? Right, that's us. That's Clueless Podcast.
Yes.
See you next week.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.